But just because businesses are starting to reopen, it doesn't mean this pandemic is over. It's actually forcing the city of Austin to make some really tough choices when they're thinking about the future. There are hiring freezes and potential budget cuts.
And this morning we have Austin Mayor Steve Adler with us live to talk about some of those changes. So first, good morning, Mayor. Thanks for being with us. The city's expecting a $200 million budget shortfall for the next 2 fiscal years. What are some of the things that the city is looking into right now to balance the budget?
Well, you know, we were fortunate as a city. We entered into this virus economic crisis with reserves that exceeded what our policies called for. That said, the economic crisis that's hitting people in the community is obviously hitting the city as well. So we're tightening the belt. We're not filling positions that are vacant. Departments are cutting discretionary items. And we're going to be real strategic about how we invest and spend the federal monies that are coming in through the CARES Act.
And are there some departments that you expect to be more impacted than others?
Well, you know, I think that there are probably it's going to be across the board with respect to departments. We expect sales tax revenues to go down, and we're seeing that. We're not sure about property tax revenues. Development revenues probably be going down. So we're already seeing some indications of that. But most of the departments are ultimately taking a look at the general fund. So it comes out of the same source of revenue. We have some departments that are dependent on fees, and obviously with less activity, there's less fee income.
Clearly, you're going to need to generate as much revenue as possible. So what does this mean for people's property taxes? We know the state instituted a cap, but that can change during an emergency.
It can. We're not at the point yet where we know how to assess that. You know, it seems in that worlds are changing here every 2 weeks. But what we do know is that Austin is both dealing with the financial crisis, and it's severe, but we're also in a relatively strong position. We have a higher percentage of people that are able to work from home, and that enables us then to focus resources on those that can't. What we're going to do next year with respect to revenue, we'll make that decision in August. We'll get a budget from the city manager in July. But in anticipation of that, we're already begun to cut spending so that we're in the best possible position.
Hey, Mayor, let's talk about public safety here. Are you expecting the police department and the Austin Fire Department to not only adjust their budgets, but are you expecting any cuts in positions? Are we going to see less police officer and less firefighters?
You know, I haven't heard anyone suggest at this point that we're going to be cutting police officers or fire department personnel, and it's I think we have to do everything possible to make sure that does not happen. So no, at this point I don't anticipate any cuts to police or to fire.
Got it. COVID-19 has hit Austin Latinos harder than any other demographic. You know that. At one point, the city said they were going to create a Latino task force to address this. Is that still the plan? Will a task force still be formed?
I think that people are moving forward with that, but we're not waiting for the task force. We're getting community input and involvement right away. Through the Quality of Life Commission, through the City Council Cabinet on public outreach, so that we can get those voices and ideas and suggestions, and folks willing to help with the effort right away. There's going to be flyers going out to 40,000 people in the community that will be given out at homes, also at grocery stores. We're going to be able to put flyers at construction sites. We've started having at the press conferences we do a speaker that speaks Spanish. Press conferences are going out bilingually. We recognize this is a pretty serious challenge that we have in our city, and it's one of the highest priorities right now.
And quickly, Mr. Mayor, what's the latest on city pools reopening? I know you have the green light from the governor to do that, but Austin hasn't done it yet.
Austin hasn't done it yet. The Parks Department is taking a look at what we need to do to be able to open recreational opportunities, outdoor opportunities in a way that can maintain social distancing. I've seen some materials coming from the Parks Department that indicate that maybe this summer we're going to be able to open some of the pools. And I would hope that we would be able to do that. But in order to do that, this community really has to be vigilant on maintaining 6-foot distancing and wearing face coverings everywhere it can. If we don't do that, the fear is that we're going to increase the number of infections, increase the number of people that have to go to our hospitals. We can't overwhelm our hospitals, or people aren't going to get the care they need, and some of them are going to die. So we're going to try and open the pools, open the economy, but we need people to be vigilant about maintaining 6-foot distancing and wearing face coverings.
Mayor Adler, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you for the
Mayor.
invitation.
Family portraits in